Tackling climate change is important. It's as important as dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, according to a new survey. The study by the ISEAS-Yusof Ishak Institute in Singapore has found people across Southeast Asia found they ranked it even higher than terrorism. They say they are most concerned about flooding, a rise in sea levels, and a loss in biodiversity. At the same time, they say they don't know enough about their country's climate policies. Now, for more on this, Sharon Seah joins us from the ISEAS-Yusof Ishak Institute. Thanks for joining us, Sharon. Firstly, why do you think climate change has risen to the top of the priority list in Southeast Asia?
Well, I think Southeast Asians, unfortunately, have the front row seats in this unfolding climate crisis. They are suffering firsthand devastating impacts on their lives and livelihoods due to worsening climate impacts. And you can see this in last month's typhoons in Vietnam and the Philippines. And COVID-19 also has shown in stark relief that animal health, human health, and planetary health are all interlinked. So the loss of biodiversity, deteriorating environment, changing climate, and that growing proximity between wildlife, livestock, and humans are all contributing factors to new and emerging diseases. So all in all, you can say that climate and COVID are actually big drivers of concern in this region.
Still, a majority of the people surveyed said they weren't aware of the specific climate policies of their nation. What do you think needs to be done to educate people more?
I think the governments need to involve their citizens, so there needs to be more public consultations. This is actually quite surprising because the governments have submitted their NDCs back in 2015, and clearly 5 years have passed, but their citizens are not aware of what they're doing. So they need to really improve on their messaging to the population.
And Sharon, the poll suggests that businesses and governments should bear the cost of climate measures. How practical is that?
That's actually a business case for climate action. Studies have shown that investing in sustainable practices do produce yields. The challenges actually for companies is understanding their climate risks using the latest climate science, and this is more challenging now with a rapidly evolving environment given this black swan event we have called COVID-19. And also the second challenge for companies is understanding the ways that they can be part of the stakeholder solution to the problem and to work in tandem with the government and their own stakeholders and the consumers. With regard to Southeast Asia, I think the challenge that's specific to Southeast Asia is the fact that ASEAN SMEs form more than 90% of the ASEAN enterprise landscape, and they form the backbone of many economies in this region. However, SMEs tend to be cash-strapped and they are unable to adapt to sustainability challenges. So in this regard, I think ASEAN SMEs really do need capacity building to improve their environmental behaviors and to participate in climate abatement activities.
There is potentially another challenge as well, the difficulties for lower income countries in the region to make this push for more climate-friendly policies.
Yes, that's right. In our survey, we actually asked a question about pushing back on the fossil fuel dependence. And actually, the least developed countries such as Cambodia, Vietnam, and the Philippines, they support the idea that subsidies on fossil fuels should be cut. But this push towards an elimination can be politically sensitive in many countries. But that said, it is painful in the short term, but there will be dividends in the long term. And also, let's not forget that the lesser developed countries are actually not renewable energy disadvantaged. Many of them enjoy an abundance in hydro, solar, and wind power. They just lack the technologies and the capabilities, investments, and that infrastructure to tap into renewable energy. So the key really now is to make use of that COVID reset button, make the right investments, and they can very well be selling renewable energy to their more developed neighbors in the future.
That's a really good point. Sharon Seah from ICS, thank you so much for your time today.